Hello everyone, welcome to the course Data Structures. This is Thulasi Chitra, Associate Professor, Department of CSIT, MLR Institute of Technology. Today we will be discussing about the concept of a double linked list, as we have seen in the previous sessions about the single linked list, right? Now we are in this session, we will be discussing about the double linked list. Here the first thing we are going to discuss about what is the double linked list and what is the definition of double linked list, followed by the structure declaration. Then points to be remembered when you are going to have the double linked list to be declared. Then we will be seeing some of the advantages of a double linked list and disadvantages of double linked list and some of the applications of double linked list. These are all the things where we are going to discuss under this session. First we will be seeing about what is the definition of a double linked list. It will be similarly like a single linked list. Just let us see. A double linked list is a sequence of data items and each item in the list is called a node, and a node consists of three parts, right? And in the single linked list we have only two parts where you have data and address, but here we are going to have three parts. One is data and another one is next address and the last one is previous address also. Let us see how we are going to represent the node structure for double linked list. This is the node structure. You will be having the data part, next address part and the previous address. This is called a node. Let us see one example how we are going to represent a double linked list. This is how we are going to represent a double linked list, right? Here we have considered three nodes. All the three nodes are connected, right? And here the first node is represented with head and the last node is represented with last, the same thing which we have seen in the single linked list also, right? Now, here we are going to have the three parts in the node, the part of data representing the data element 10, the previous address is null and the next address is storing with the address of the next node, that is 2000 has been stored. And the address of this one is 1000. In the similar way, we are going to store the next node addresses. Now, here you need to concentrate on the previous address also. The previous address here is 1000, that is going to be stored in this location. And the previous address for this node is 2000, that is going to be stored in this location. Like this way, we can navigate or we can move from forward direction as well as backward also. But in the single linked list, it is not possible to move backward. We can only move forward, right? Now, let us see how we are going to have the structure declaration for this double linked list node structure, right? As we have seen in the single linked list, the same thing. We are going to have the keyword called struct followed by node is the name of the structure, then followed by the data type. And these are the two pointers where we are going to represent in the node for storing the next address, and this is going to store the previous address. This is the next address, right? Let us see the diagrammatic representation. And the data will be taking any of the data values in float char data values, and previous and next addresses will store only the addresses, right? Next. These are the points to be remembered when you are going to deal with the double linked list. What is the first point? Let us see. Each node consists of the data fields and two pointer fields called the next and previous address. We have seen, right? We have seen a node. This is a node which have the data field and the previous and the next addresses are present in this. This is the point tells you about. Next. In double linked list, the first node represents the head and last node represents the last. As we have seen in the previous example, the first node which you are going to have in the list, this is called the head, and if you are going to have some other nodes, and this is the last node where it is going to represent with the last. Next, each node is linked with its next node by using next pointer. That means, if I am going to have another node, this is going to be connected by using the next pointer, right? This address is going to be stored here. Next, each node in the linked list with its previous node by using previous pointer. And here whatever the address you are having, the previous node address will be stored in this point. This is the previous node address. In this place it will be stored. Always the previous field of the first node must be null. Observe, when I am going to represent this example, yes, the previous node address is null here and the last node address next part is null. That point also we are going to cover here. Let us see. Always the previous field of the first node will be null, right? This will be always null. At the same time, always the next field of the last node will be null. Here the last node is right here and this will also be a null value. These are the points when you have to remember when you are dealing with the double linked list, right? Next, what are the advantages of a double linked list? The same thing I told you, right? Whatever the advantages we seen with the single linked list, those things, most of the things will be repeated, right? Advantages is, first is it is dynamic in nature, right? That means it is going to allocate the memory dynamically at the run time. Either you can increase or decrease the size of your list, right? And it is easy to implement. When compared with the single linked list, it is easy to implement. Let us see how it is. Traverse in both the directions. It will be traversing in both the directions. You have the forward as well as backward representation is there. Because of that, we can move forward as well as backward. And reverse the list is simple and straightforward. But because of this previous node address connections, we can implement the reversing of elements in the list also very easy. Those are the advantages of double linked list. And what are the disadvantages? Main disadvantages, again, the disadvantages which we have seen with the single linked list will be the same. It uses extra memory, right? For storing the addresses, it will be using more memory when compared with the single linked list. In single linked list, we are going to have only next address, but here we are going to have the previous address also. Because of that extra memory we are going to use. No direct access of the element is allowed. Why? Because here you don't have any proper index for your linked list. It will be stored with addresses. Because of that, you can't access any of the element directly. You have to traverse through the list and you have to access it. Those are the disadvantages. And coming to the applications of linked list, that is double linked list. There are various applications of double linked list in the real world. Some of them are listed below. Let us see here what are the things. Double linked list can be used in navigation where both front and navigations are required. When you want to move front as well as backward, in that particular case, we can use the double linked list. It is used in browsers, right? When I want to move, I am going to open some of the URLs. Based on that, I am going to move front. Different URLs I have opened. But I want to refer some other URLs which I have already opened, then I can move back also. By using this double linked list, we can access forward as well as backward also. That is, visited pages like backward and forward buttons. By using backward and forward buttons, you can move forward as well as backward. It is also used by various applications to implement and undo and redo operations. Undo means which you have deleted. That one, if I want to get it back, then I can perform the redo functionality also. Right. It is also used to represent a deck of cards in games, right? In deck of cards in games you have a deck of cards, right? If game playing, if I want to insert some of the cards, if I want to change my game again, I want to come back. In that particular case, we can use this double linked list concept. It is used to represent various states of games. That means if I'm in one state, if I want to be back to some other state, then I'm going to use this double linked list. These are the applications where you can find with double linked list, right? And let us see what is a summary of this session, what we have discussed. We have discussed about what is a double linked list and what is the definition of a double linked list we have seen. And there we have seen about how you can declare a structure for a node structure to be declared for a double linked list we have seen. Then when you are going to represent a double linked list, what points to be remembered we have discussed. Then What are the advantages of a double linked list over the single linked list we have seen, and what are the disadvantages of a double linked list also we have seen, and what are the applications of double linked list. Right, we have seen in the previous video. You can refer what are the advantages with single linked list and the double linked list. You can compare. Right, this is the overall summary of this session. Thank you, and if any doubts regarding this session, please do comment in the session. Thank you.